Yeah, I was saying to the microphone, hold on, but the microphone isn't on. So you can't hear me when I'm going, hold on, which is funny in a way. And we had a joke about this just now. My wife said that I was just reading about this thing where they said, oh, when you're trying to remember something and you're going from, you go into the room where you are, and then you're trying to remember why you came in the room. You have to think you're in another portal. Go back to the other portal in your consciousness, and then you could grasp what it is that you're wanting to remember that you forgot when you went to the next room. Or like, might happen to me when I come on here and all of a sudden I go, what am I thinking I wanted to be saying or doing in the new portal? So we also said, well, even within the room or the house, there's all these different portals, and even within the room. And so, when you have those senior moments and stuff like that, this is a funny thing. So you say to yourself, okay, I'm in a new portal, new dimension, new plane, whatever. Thought that was fun. As usual, I'm not always able to put the proper emotional or emotional recognition on the storytelling. I got to enter a new portal in order to be able to do that better. So, all right. I'm not really having a lot more to say exactly directly, but I think that I've wanted to get some hold on coming into, let's say, a large sum of money or other forms of investment, and in my case, also trying to create one myself, and get participants, which I'm doing and did today and have been doing all week. I've noticed certain oddities all along the way, such as it's a game playing where you have to pick numbers, and I notice some days I'll play with actual money, and then what happened twice the last 2 days was, well, if I had played a different game at a different time, the night game instead of the day game, I would have won or had a very, very strong chance, better chance than the one I had used and given to others as well. And this has happened repeatedly. Whenever I've noticed that I'm really on top of something, and as an example, driving down to the store, I was interrupted by a number of different things. And the people, it's almost like these people here, especially, they just get in your way and they come out of nowhere. Same thing happens on the golf course and almost everything else I'm doing. When I'm really on something, they're all over the place or suddenly appearing, and big trucks that are parked and whatever, kind of interruptions. So I realize that's the thing about everything we're doing is if we're physically trying to do it, it's a distraction, distortion, or distancing, or inhibition, and et cetera, et cetera. So it's good to recognize that, though, that's happening, and to see it, because I've had that experience for maybe almost 40 years now. I had to regards to certain things that I was involved with, including Eckankar, with all of that. Interferences are part of it. And actually sometimes interferences are good and should be actually accepted or acknowledged and or identified, one of those three, so that we can get what's really going on, for one, and also see it might be that there's a real need for a change in position or attitude or attention of focus. And sometimes it's, yeah, so all these things are involved in this communication, we'll say, with what it is that our intention is and our recognition and our awareness is. Those are the three that we want to use, and or say that we want to recognize each of those and involved with what we're doing, and also our own inhibitions, restrictions, and unresolute natures, which is quite common in all of us and all people, and certain self-destructive attributes. So I'm experiencing this with a friend, or sharing it with a friend, or he's sharing with me. I just met him in the last week, and he is almost like an open book, totally open to everything I've shared with him. I've shared with him almost everything, including an ANU UU, and invited him, and he was invited here today, and he's a truck driver's son, and they're working, but eventually he will be here. And I told him, well, we're just sharing dream visions and stories, and the new you realities. So what's interesting is he told me that, and I don't think he'd mind me saying these true things about him. He said, I've been an addiction for 30, he's 34 years old, since he was 14. He just wrote me a note a few minutes ago about it. And he's aware of it, and he said, well, I've been clean for 2 weeks. And he does that when he's out working. And but I said to him, I think you're at the end of your road there on going back to it, and or such and such kind of because I think he recognizes it as well. He's still smoking cigarettes, and I think that's one of his addictions. But I guess what happened. He went through something similar to another friend I have here who lives about 20 minutes away, who I think is the reincarnation of Duane Allman, very, very famous great guitarist, Allman Brothers. And he, of course, while he was playing, was lots of drugs, known for taking drugs, and known for making music on drugs. Actually, one of the best albums ever made in the 60s, 70s. It's called Derek and the Dominoes. And so in this life, he's told me when he was about in his 20s, he got into drugs, and he's had some problems with that. And I think he identified these addictions as well. And so, what we got the trailovers from our past trail walks. And now the new trail, where we're still going to go down some of the old paths, and we have to work them out and get rid of those karmas, if we can identify and recognize and be aware then. And so this friend, this other person, same kind of thing. And so it's a matter of that, recognizing. So and also, I think that what happens is that our births are a model of, or a picture of everything that we did before. Is in the picture of the moment of birth, in our cells and in our being, like body and whole body, and mental bodies, emotional bodies. So it takes some people longer than others to work through all of that part of their karmas. Maybe up to around age 30 is a good model number to say. And then we're about halfway to being able to get through, because the next 30 years is going to be about identifying, or for the awake persons, more likely to now, okay, what am I doing? What is real now? I mean, and work out the whole other parts that aren't in our karmas necessarily, but also to get to the real awareness. So something like, I'm using numbers. I don't mean that it matters, but like age 60, you've gone through the 6 decades and 6 planes, 6 levels, and this is what happened to me, I would say generally, and the 7th thing opened up, or was recognized. I'll say it that way. And that's exactly what happened. I'm about 10 years past that. And that had a lot to do with also new UU awareness, recognition, and study and experience, here. And that's would be my story on that. So I guess that's pretty good. Val, you think there's have anything to add to that? Or I do want to relate something with you, because you were well, as they say, this is your birthday coming, almost here, and I share something with that position, and very closely and warmly, and I want to wish you, that acknowledgement of thank you as well. And with this, the unified purposes, I'd say, that we're sharing and have grasped and gone through similarly ourselves to get to here, or be here, and or be with, and in a really conscious, identifying way, as opposed to, oh, you know what I mean. A lot of people think it's just kind of accidental what they've gone through, and or that they don't recognize the real integrated coordination of everything. So they're giving identifications, like, say, to spiritual leaders, inspiring persons, all kinds of saviors or icons or any of that kind of thing, and or to the cultural institutions, et cetera, blah blah blah, trying to figure it out psychologically or emotionally, and again, really not necessary, or those aren't necessities in terms of it. It's our real awareness, going through the learned behavior, adjustment skills, dream visions, quantum field awareness, and the solar or universal positioning, spiritual, so-called, or exercising our natural intelligence, our architectures, and then those things are all part of the field, but the real thing isn't requiring that. It would be like, what kind of psychic gifts am I going to get by joining this path? Or, I'm going to start to channel, what the Christians call it, channeling, when they, with the word, I forgot the term some of the Christians use, some of you know what I mean about that. And any of those things, completely unnecessary as a whole. or within that wholeness thing, the all-isness. And that's a good way of culminizing it. So thank you, Val, again, and Ava, Dwayne. And it's interesting. I'd like to know about the economic, how to look at what that implementation will be, or how I could be implementing it myself. I've got various areas and people's communities and such groups that I think I could get the word infiltrate. It's really not the right word, but that's the word that came to me. So, but yeah, infiltration doesn't have to be negative either. I guess that's the thing to see. It's not all, there is no good or bad, right or wrong. Do this, do that, don't do, expect this, or any other word I could use about it. So thanks, Val.